Well, good morning. Looks like I'm getting back to normal here, anyhow. Uh, I want to start off with a sort of somber note. I don't know the exact number of years ago this was, but I do know I posted these photos 12 years ago. It's the anniversary of Kent State and what the National Guard did and what Trump plans to do now. So take a look at these photos and on that video, or on that I don't have them here, but go to, yeah, how do I do this now? I don't know how to do that. But anyhow, check out Kent State, uh, April 13th. I'm not sure of the year. Check the photos. I have photos up on my Facebook page. Really take a look at them. This was a horrible time. This was before there was a Trump, and it just screwed everything up. But it solved the problem of the war. That was pretty much the last uh, straw for a lot of people that were sitting back and maybe not being involved. This is when they got involved. So, all right. Now let's get on with some news. Chinese weapons are on their way to Iran, and Iran is, going to end up be a little broke. They may have to take them on credit. I don't know how that's going to work out. The blockade that Trump's doing on the Hormuz Strait started about 19 minutes ago, if my computer time is right. Uh, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Uh, all that means is there's a bunch of people out there with a lot of money who are going to make more money because oil prices are going sky high. And people like me who are going to lose money. I lose money because my dollar isn't worth much anymore. So when I go to buy something on the exchange rate, I'm losing money. But that's Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't give a fuck about nothing. People don't understand that. He doesn't lose a dime. He's gonna make money on this deal, and he doesn't care. He's just a fat, miserable shell of a man. He doesn't have any uh, I don't know what the words to use here. He has no empathy. He doesn't care what he's doing to the American public. If inflation's up 3 times what it was, supposedly, or something like that now, in the last few weeks because of Trump screwing around. The only thing that's happening right now in a positive sense is if you're rich, you're getting richer. Okay? That's what's going on, folks. And it's like what happened in right before the French Revolution, you know? And that was a country that wasn't known to be of a violent nature for revolutions. Trump likes to start them in other countries. His regime policy is not working with shit, so I don't know how see how that works out for him, but it's not working out real well as far as I can tell. Never has, never will. Okay, so let's see. That's that. This guy, Swalwell. That's what it looks like his name is, from California. That was running for governor. He's not running anymore. And some of those 4 ladies that came forward and said he raped them and everything else with drugs and all that stuff. That's probably true. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But when you read the article, you find out that they didn't exactly react the way I would hope my girlfriend would react to something happening like that. So we'll see. But anyhow, he's done. He's fried. He's cooked. He'll be out of the Senate or the House or wherever he is now soon. And then Elon Musk is back in the news because we're trying to figure out what he did with the money. And you're never gonna find out. What he did or didn't do when he was in charge of that. I forget the name of it, but when he was doing all the cuts and everything like that, there's money went someplace, but who knows where. People are assuming it went to Trump and him, or the Republican Party, the mega riches. They call that the mega party. It is the mega party. It's the mega rich. That's who it is. That's what that mega means. Okay, so don't think that they're the greatest thing since lifesavers. You know what I'm saying? You need to really. I hope that's. Can't adjust this anymore, can I? Oh, maybe I can. Anyhow, I don't know. I do. This is live. Okay. These videos, I make them. I don't edit them, and people look at them and say, "What the fuck?" And I don't care. All right. So anyhow, what was I talking? Musk. Yeah, he's another one. He's very quiet lately. I'm not sure why. And Trump is at war with Iran. He's fighting with the Pope. The Pope doesn't care what he says. The Pope's not afraid of him. He's not because what? The Pope's American. He's supposed to bow down to that fat piece of crap. I'm not Catholic anymore. I'm not a Catholic. I was raised a Catholic. I take some of their beliefs to heart. I don't like religions. Period. I don't have a religion as far as I'm concerned. And nobody ever really. You have to take it on blind faith. I've never been able to do that with anything. I'm one of these personalities that questions authority, questions everything. Like if you say no and don't tell me why, I get pissed. I want to know why. You say yes, I want to know. Well, sometimes I don't want to know why, just because yeah, it's what I want. Oh, excuse me. Oh. See, this is real. This is basically what you get when you go over to the live side too. I don't know what's going to happen with Iran. He's going to start bombing the fast boats like he did outside Venezuela. So innocent people get killed too. He has no. He's just warlike, stupid, but he's stupid. And that's a problem. And he's not accomplishing anything. He's just destroying things, and I think he's destroyed them beyond. What is the term I want to use? He just goes a little too far, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. But he's a destructive personality. Like I said, he took casinos and made them into mausoleums. I went to every casino in Atlantic City, and some of them I didn't like because they weren't. I don't know. They were just filled with a bunch of creeps, something like that. But then you had the what the hell was the name of that? The Taj Mahal. You walked into that thing and it was just so gaudy, it was depressing. And people weren't winning money there. I never saw a lot of winners, I saw a lot of losers. And he somehow or another, bankrupted that casino because it was just horrible. Nobody was there. I would leave a very crowded, upbeat, forget the name of the casino at the time. But anyhow, I would leave this casino with money in my pocket that I won, and I'd go over to Taj Mahal to check it out because my friend wanted to see what it looked like, and it was horribly depressing. The lighting made it. The lighting just made you feel, bleh. You weren't excited about anything. When you won, you weren't excited. It was just one of those places. But that's Donald Trump. He's a depressing individual. Now, Maine, and this wasn't Bernie Sanders doing this. This was another representative up there. Stopped the data center until they can figure out how much water, electricity, and stuff it's going to steal from the state. And what they found out when they stopped it is that no permits were issued for this thing, and that there were two others that were in the early stages of development. And again, no hearings, no permits, no nothing done. So they're the first state in the United States to do it, but now New York is taking a look at it. And Maine banned, at least temporarily, all construction on these data centers. Apparently these things are stored knowledge for AI. And what they do is they use a lot of electricity and a ton of water to stay cool, to cool down after that electricity. They run very, very hot. And I think, that there's technology that can do that without using all the water in the area. Because we don't have water to waste on stupid data centers, okay? You waste them on machines, evaporates, and it's gone. You don't understand it. Water's not a recoverable mineral or whatever. It doesn't reproduce itself all the time. So they're really hurting the country. They're really hurting people when they do that. So, and on the music scene, Britney Spears committed herself for after a DUI arrest a couple of months ago. So she's in rehab. She's walked in by herself. Now here's an interesting. These two, and Paris Hilton's another one of these girls that were big and hot in the news all the time. And Paris Hilton does where does it show up? I think it shows up on Netflix or YouTube or someplace like that. And it's Paris Hilton is supposed to be this. Or you did? No, it shows up. Yeah, it's a program, and she's asked a question: "Are you proud of what you've accomplished in your life?" And she says, "Absolutely, I'm very, very proud." She used to walk around without underwear and have her picture taken getting in and out of taxi cabs so her pussy was available for everybody to look at. This was Paris Hilton, the attention-grabbing slut, and Britney Spears is another one. Now, Paris has a child right now, and I'm hopefully, her, I guess husband, because that's what part of the show is about, them getting married, have learned a few lessons in life, and they're no longer being, acting like juvenile delinquents at a party, I've dated women that didn't wear underwear for a lot of reasons, but I tell you this, that to get your picture in the news, that's just, why don't you just make a porn movie? Britney didn't. Paris did. Paris made a blowjob movie. Wasn't very good from what I saw of it, She's not an expert. She's too busy looking at the camera, not paying attention to what she's doing. But this is, somebody who thinks that she's proud. Well, good for you. And Trump lost a friend. Apparently, Orban, the dictator in Hungary, is out of office. A lot of his friends and whatnot, associates, are out of office. That was Trump's big European buddy. Now he's got no friends anywhere. That's pretty amazing, Unless you want something from him and he's willing to give it to you, he doesn't have friends. Nobody likes this man. Anybody that admires this man is self-styled dictator in their own right. But very few people like this man, yet he's still around. All right, listen, go over to the live video in about a half hour, and I'll be there doing the same shit. The only difference is you can comment it while I'm on the air, which is always a good thing. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The channel is Jeffrey Ruff at YouTube. Check it out, okay? And while you're here, hit the subscription button and you'll get notifications of when I go live or when I post a video or something like that. You can do whatever you want, you know. I think the live videos come automatically. Your automatic notification. The other videos, I think you have to ask if you want to, be notified or something like that. You go to notices, so you can get notices when I'm coming on and when I've made a video and whatnot. I try to get these videos posted before 11 o'clock so that I can do the live video around 11 o'clock. I will tell you right now that this week, Thursday will be all screwed up because I have a 10 o'clock appointment at the doctor for me, for a change. So we'll see what's going on after that. In the meantime, I told you they think I have glaucoma, right? And I'm being treated for glaucoma right now anyhow. But it's so slow acting, I said to them, I said, I'll be dead before it affects me. So don't worry too much about it. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe to me. Remember, this is all live when I do these videos. I don't edit anything. You see what it is. That's Lucy over there. Sound asleep. So I'm getting so old I can't even talk anymore. Oh, gosh. All right, everybody. Take it easy. We'll see you later on.